Welcome back, everybody. It's time for more TTBurger game reviews here on YouTube. I am your host, Tony. And we're back with more of my Hot Shots Golf franchise review here, episode 291. Today we're on the 5th part here, part 5 of 8 parts of this episode. We've been talking about Hot Shots Golf. The last 4 games have all been great. The first one hadn't aged all that well, the second one improved a little, but Hot Shots Golf 3 and Hot Shots Golf 4 are all fantastic golf games and fantastic PlayStation 2 games. But today we're going to do something a little different here for this part. We're not going to talk about golf, we're going to talk about tennis, a spin-off to Hot Shots Golf. And this was one of 2 Hot Shots tennis games with on the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation Portable. And we got it right here. This is Hot Shots Tennis, aka Everybody's Tennis, or Mina no Tennis, a PlayStation 2 exclusive, released first in Japan on September 14th, 2006. Then a year later on April 13th in Europe, 2007. And then about a month later, 3 weeks later, in Australia on May 3rd. And then on July 17th, North America. So this time we have tennis. Hot Shots Golf has been successful with 4 games, a total on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. So why not try something different? Make a spin-off, based on a different sport, like tennis. Well, they did. But how does it turn out as the golf games? I mean, spin-offs can be good, others not so much. But how does this game fare compared to the golf games? Well, you want my answer? My honest opinion? It sucks! For real this time. We knew there would be a point in this episode where there would be a bad game that we'd come across that would be bad, and this is that one right here. Hot Shots Tennis really tries to be a good game, but it falls flat due to annoying gameplay issues, being light on content, no upgrades whatsoever, no online play for people who like online play, and the fact that this game does not feel like tennis at all. It basically feels like Hot Shots Golf in tennis form, the way the game controls, the way it feels and it looks, it all feels like a golf game in disguise as a tennis game. There are a lot of issues on the court. You move too slowly, it's easy to miss the ball, where you'll get a fault or out so often that you'll quit in frustration. You have 2 tennis players here you start off with. Ashley is the tennis player we'll be playing as. She's an exchange student from Russia. You only have a couple of modes, and that's it, like the challenge play, the turn play, and like you know, that stuff. And they get old quickly. Now I love tennis games, mainly Top Spin, Virtual Tennis, and the Outlaw Tennis game and stuff. All fun games, but this one not so much. What made those games fun was it felt like tennis and they were enjoyable with replay value and stuff and more. Here, this is a chore to get through, the matches and stuff and everything, which we'll talk about later. And you get into the game, you have either single play or double play, and each time you win a match, a new one or so, you earn a prize, a new costume, a course, an umpire, a tennis player, or and stuff, and yeah. There are no upgrades to equipment. Nothing. You don't get new tennis balls, new tennis rackets, nothing. Sometimes you end up facing off against yourself, and that happens a lot. Nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of weird to see Ashley face off against herself or team up with herself in the double match and stuff, and this happens a little too often. When you get into the game, you notice the graphics are good, I mean they look good for a PlayStation 2 game. But at this time in 2007, the PlayStation 3 was out. The graphics were starting to show its age at this point. Character models look okay, but compared to Hot Shots Golf, they look a little bland and uninspiring. And what is up with those faces? They look like clowns that get drunk at a party, spending hours in the toilet throwing up. Did Clap Hanz take advice from the company Camelot Software with the way the golf was looking in Hot Shots Golf? Because, keep in mind, Clap Hanz did not develop the first game. Camelot Software did. And that's why there was such a big difference in the gameplay and the graphics and everything. It's like, remember how those golfers looked with the big heads and small bodies and those freaky looking faces? I guess so. The tennis players animate awkwardly too, like you literally see player models shift from one animation to the next. The tennis environments look okay, but they are small and generic except for the beach course and the school course. The frame rate is smooth, but there are times you'll notice some minor slowdowns, maybe not. For sound, Hot Shots Tennis is a mixed bag. The voice acting is too suckery and sweet sounding for a tennis game. Even the gruff and buff characters sound the same way. The one-liners are so annoying, even the umpires will drive you insane, like some of the worst voice acting I've ever heard in my life, and it's like they're not even trying to speak English here. I mean, come on! What is up with that? The music is better, nowhere near as good as the music in Hot Shots Golf, but it's better to say the least, but it's like, it sounds cutesy and upbeat, like something you hear in a children's show or something. I mean, there are some tunes that are catchy, but not the best. And also, the music is turned off in the default setting once again. Why do they do this? Last time in Hot Shots Golf 4, the music was in the on position. Why is it so taboo to keep the music on? I mean, people like to have music on in the background. Why would you want to turn the music off? I do not understand that. So taboo and annoying. Hot Shots Tennis falls apart in the gameplay due to gameplay issues that wreck the fun and make the game a chore. First problem, like I mentioned, you have no upgrades. No tennis rackets or power shots or anything. And your player moves way too slow. By the time you figure out where the ball is, you're too late to score for the opponent. You can move with the D-pad and the left analog stick and stuff, but you're better off not using the D-pad. It is so clunky and so slow. The opponent AI for both sides, partner and opponent, is so unbalanced, not even funny. Even your partner in the double matches is so stupid. I can't tell you how many times my partner hit the net when trying to serve the ball. I admit I lost track of count. And you know, and your teammate made friendly AI doesn't do much to help. It just moves around, hits the ball when it feels like it and stuff. And you know, they hit the net all the time, get in a fault, you know, and the opponent will be on key, hit with the ball, and be dumb hitting the net. Like in the Hot Shots Golf games, you have the shot meter, which lets you know how well you hit the ball, but there's no meter. It just, you gotta watch the animation when it tells you to hit the ball. If you hit too fast, you'll get the rabbit, and it's a fault, and get a double fault. Or if you hit too slow, the turtle, you can hit the net. You need to be spot on here. You can't be too early or too late. Playing the doubles, another problem, sometimes you'll not know where the ball is aiming for you or your partner, you'll get confused. And if you hit the ball when it's aimed at your opponent, it's a point for the other team, like how it is in regular tennis. Another frustrating element is the camera. You have two camera angles and neither of them work well at all. One is zoomed too far back, one is zoomed too close. So pick your poison, too far or too close. You'll also have power hits if you stand in a certain spot, like on the court where it has these red and yellow circles. Red is where you're supposed to be standing, the yellow is when you get the power shot, and you know, they can help you win, but sometimes you're too late, or you gotta stand in the right spot. If you're too close or too back, it doesn't count. And when you have the power hits and you hit the ball, it looks cool to see those effects. There are also times where you hit the ball and the ball will just drop, and you just like, you know, it'll just stop. And like, sometimes the markers won't show where the ball is supposed to appear. I already mentioned how annoying it is where you face off against yourself, aka the character you select except a different costume. In fact, these rewards you get, like I mentioned, are not really worth it. Sure, you get new tennis players, new umpires and courts and stuff, but that's all you get. The controls have a stiff way to feel to them, especially when you hit the ball. It needs to be timed right, or you get out, like I mentioned already. I expect this to happen a lot. I am good at tennis games. I can play Virtual Tennis 3 or Top Spin or so, or Outlaw Tennis with no problem. But this felt like a chore here. There are some positives though, like it can be fun when the game is doing what it's supposed to do. They're good cast of tennis players, and all new cast. That's basically it though. It was terrible. And why was this on the PlayStation 2? The PlayStation 3 was already out in North America. I mean, I do not have the answer to that. I mean, I can understand it if it was like what they did with the Grand Theft Auto spin-offs, where they were on the PSP and then ported to the PS2, I can understand that. But this was not a PSP game. It was not that. So, why? I do not have the answer to that. Now, before we can even give this atrocity a rating, let's go to our TTBurger pros and cons chart. For the TTBurger pros, it's the first spin-off in the Hot Shots Golf franchise, and it's the first of 2 games in the Hot Shots Tennis franchise. A decent amount of tennis players and tennis courts. The power shots look cool when you pull them off, and it has multiplayer up to 4 players, which has some fun. I know I did not mention multiplayer, so I apologize there. For the TTBurger cons, a lot of frustrating gameplay elements that make the game a chore to get through. This does not feel like tennis, it feels like a golf game disguised as a tennis game. Graphics at the time are still to show its age due to the PlayStation 3 being out for a year already. Awful music and voice sound will give you a headache hearing them throughout the game. The tennis player models have these creepy looking faces that make them look like drunk clowns at a party. The tennis courts all look generic and the same. The tennis courts all generic and feel the same even if they have different themes to them and stuff. The controls are stiff and weird, especially moving around with the D-pad, making it annoying. The opponent AI and partner AI have a lot of issues during the matches with hitting the ball. No upgrades, new equipment, or any type of reward whatsoever when you win a match. It's annoying when you face off against yourself multiple times throughout the game. Hot Shots Golf was miles better with more content and less issues than this game has. And also, if I mention, there's no online play, so those of you who like to play online, you can't do it here. Which leads to my final thoughts around this game. Hot Shots Tennis is a disappointment. It just avoids, just stick with the golf games, which why I give the rating here a 3 out of 10. It's the lowest score so far. Hope the Hot Shots franchise can redeem itself. I know that there's other tests given the PSP, but I am not playing it. I don't own a PSP anymore. And that's it for part 5 of episode 291 of my Hot Shots Golf franchise review. Stay tuned for part 6 where we're going to dive into the PlayStation 3 era of Hot Shots Golf called Hot Shots Golf Out of Bounds. It's the first PlayStation 3 Hot Shots Golf game, and how does it fare? Find out next, which all I gotta say is Tony. Peace and out, have a good day, and see you all in the next episode. Take care, everybody.